Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that wonders who will be the one to shut the lights off at Impact Wrestling after this week. It's Lost to the Midcard. Welcome to our first show of the year. It's supposed to be our first show of the year last week, but we had a little technical issue and that could not be fixed, unfortunately. So our marquee episode was lost. So we are going to post the results of our third annual Marquees on Twitter and Facebook, so keep an eye out for that. But we got a lot to talk about this week, as we are now on the cusp of Raw 25 coming at us on Monday, followed by the NXT TakeOver Philly, the Royal Rumble, just a little over a week away. So lots to get into. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, every Thursday, most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. Links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Go to the pinned post there. And also our pinned tweet at LITMC Podcasts, where you can find the subscriptions there, and also all of the great tweets that we share with the wrestling world, from the wrestling world to you guys. So make sure to give us a follow on the Twitter as well. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, so who is going to shut the lights off at Impact Wrestling?
I don't know, man. I feel like they brought in as many people this week as they lost.
Well,
you know, I feel it was a fluctuation of talent, and you know, if they're going to be better off money financial wise because of it, I don't really have an issue with it. I'll be perfectly honest with you, man. This is the first time in years where I can sit here and tell you that I read 6 days worth of Impact television tapings, and not once did I read something that made me want to put my head through a wall.
So are you saying, are you saying come February we may cover Impact Wrestling?
I mean, why the hell not? Why not just give these bastards one more fucking chance?
Yeah.
You know, I know we've given them like 100 already, but we might as well give them one more.
Well, I remember our longest run was, I think, when they started on Destination America. We gave them quite a long run, and it was a decent product then, but it was showing its cracks, and we were like, God, Dixie sucks. And then, of course, the Owl took over, and we're like, God, where's Dixie?
Yeah. You give them one more chance. You know, I mean, 2018, we might as well try to cover as much professional wrestling as possible. We did. Y'all didn't hear it.
Yeah.
But we did in-depth discover Wrestle Kingdom 12 last week. Short story. Long story short, we loved it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Oh my God.
Top to bottom, a fantastic show. Definitely worth your view. And I mean, I would recommend it to anybody who's just a fan of good professional wrestling. Like, I would be blown away if you could sit through Wrestle Kingdom 12 as a wrestling fan and not be entertained by it.
Yeah,
and even if you don't know a majority of the talent on the show.
Yeah,
I still think you would love it.
One quick question for you: outside of Omega and Jericho, which was the match of the night, what was your favorite match outside of that one?
Oh man, I like that. Well, that was my favorite match.
Yeah, it was mine too. So that's why I said outside of Jericho and Omega.
I'll give you a couple. I really liked the Bucks and Roppongi 3K.
Yeah.
I liked the 4-way for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
And I liked Goto and
Suzuki.
Yeah, Goto and Suzuki were probably my other. I would say my other three favorite matches on the show. But I mean that's doing a disservice to like
Naito
Cody and Ibushi and Naito and Okada. I mean, there was so much to love on this show. I mean, it's really hard to pick.
And that didn't feel like 6 hours, did it?
I'd put Jericho and Omega on the top, and then everything else is kind of, below it. But I mean, that's not to say it was bad, because it was still all really, really good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like 6 hours, did it?
No, it really didn't.
Sometimes
the only thing I didn't see live was the main event. I saw everything else live.
Yeah.
So, and it didn't feel like it was that long either.
I can't believe you saw it live. Holy crap!
I was really hyped for the show, and I wanted to see as much as I could without being spoiled.
Yeah.
And I got to see it all but the main event, so I was pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, I luckily stayed away from spoilers for the most part. I mean, I knew Omega was going to beat Jericho, but little did I know Jericho was going to attack Naito at New Year's Dash. So,
and little did you know Jericho's going to be on Raw Monday.
I know, without a contract.
What the hell? Fucking Jericho's doing everything right now.
Without a contract, too.
When he got announced on Monday, when he got announced on Monday, I was like, holy shit. That honestly, I was surprised to hear Trish Stratus announced on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But Jericho was by far the bigger surprise.
Yeah.
So
we'll get into who's in, who's not in, and one last minute who's not in here in just a minute. We unfortunately we're not going to go over the marquees. I mean, that was like 40 minutes of recording, so we gave away 27 categories. But let's talk real quick the two main solo wrestlers of the year, Matt. NXT Wrestler of the Year is Aleister Black, and our WWE Wrestler of the Year for the second year in a row is AJ Styles. First off, I mean, Black, he could get called up any day now, but I kind of hope he doesn't, because
I hope he doesn't too. I really hope they keep him down there for a while.
Yeah, I want to see a run with him for the title. I think him and Cole could be a feud that stretch in a year where we were trying to break down the best feud at NXT and we couldn't find a long-term feud. I think this could be a long-term feud in 2018, Matt. Don't you think?
Yeah, but I mean, the main problem, and I think the main reason we have trouble finding long-term feuds in NXT nowadays, is the excessive rate of call-ups that happen.
Yeah.
To the main roster. It makes it difficult to pinpoint a substantial long-term feud in NXT. But I mean, I definitely see those, like a Cole Black feud is something that could go for months, because I don't see either of those guys being called up like right after WrestleMania. Like, I hope not anyway. Like, I'd really like to see those guys spend 2018 in NXT and help reestablish the brand as, one of the coolest things, on the planet right now. So,
and it's going to get a lot cooler. We'll mention that later.
Yeah, dude, they signed some epic signings this week.
And then WWE Wrestler of the Year, it was a lot closer than you might have thought. We gave a lot of consideration to Braun Strowman. The Miz was also nominated, and sorry, Marks, Roman Reigns was also nominated. All four worthy, but I mean, basically for best wrestler on the planet, Matt, it's 1A and 1B, AJ Styles and Kenny Omega, right?
I mean, that's who I would place right now. And yeah, it's just unfortunately a dream match I don't really foresee us seeing anytime soon, if ever. Well, I just with as well as the current members of the Bullet Club / the Elite are doing right now between ROH and New Japan and running the All In show in September.
They ain't hurt.
Like I just no, they're not, and they can have their own creative freedom, and they don't have to deal with the political bullshit with that the WWE ties them down to. And I would be shocked if we see the Bucks or Omega ever show up in the WWE, especially after the whole Too Sweet bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. The cease and desist and all that.
Yeah, so I mean, who knows what the hell's going to happen with them going forward? But I would not be surprised if they never signed.
And
I really wouldn't.
And for those who don't get on the social media for us here, our matches of the year, NXT bait and done at TakeOver Chicago. I mean, that was like one of the pro wrestling matches of the year. And our WWE match of the year, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. So those are some of our main marquees. We gave away about 26, 27 of them. Added a couple new categories. So check it out on Facebook and Twitter. I'm not sure when I'll have the time to get those up, but hopefully before the weekend. We'll get you the full list of our third annual marquees, and then hopefully a little time after that, maybe after the Rumble or something, I can maybe put together some stats. Now that we've gotten 3 years of awards under our belt, I'll put together some stats to kind of let you know who's been nominated the most, who's won the most marquees. So some sad news that broke literally after we tried to record last week. Mike Johnson, PW Insider, several other sources are indicating that Paige is done as an in-ring performer due to her neck issues. She was poised for a major comeback last year and into this year, but unfortunately the wrong move at the wrong time at a house show kind of changed the tide, and it's a situation, as Mike Johnson said, described similar to what Edge went through on his medical disqualification from the ring. So unfortunately, it sounds like she'll never be able to compete in the WWE ring again. But it sounds like a Daniel Bryan situation. Paige noted after her neck surgery last year that her doctor advised her not to return to work, and said, well, doctors don't understand how pro wrestlers think and wants to perform eventually. Then she was able to get cleared by the WWE. She was, for those that watched Raw, she was at Raw this week with her Absolution mates as Sonya Deville took on Sasha Banks in singles.
She'll continue to be.
Yeah, and
she's not going to disappear off TV tomorrow.
No.
You know, they have that movie to promote with The Rock in a few months. And as far as I know, her contracts goes until September of this year. Like, she's not going to be disappearing off TV anytime soon. We're still going to see Paige. But the extent of her getting physical or getting into the ring, it's done. And there's so many people that are just blindly, oh, WWE hasn't reported it, Paige hasn't said so it's just a rumor. It's not a rumor, dipshits. Like, it's the real deal. It doesn't get any more real than this. And she's never going to wrestle in a WWE ring again. And honestly, she should never wrestle in a ring again, period.
Yeah, I mean, Edge did.
If her doctor told her prior to being cleared to come back to WWE that you shouldn't work anymore, and you come back and you get hurt again, you're done. You know, I love watching Paige. One of my favorites over the last 5 years has been Paige. But you have to know when to worry about your long-term health for the rest of your life. And I feel like Paige is at that point right now where she needs to, think about that going forward. She could have a long career at WWE doing other things. Mm-hmm. Being a trainer, maybe commentating, manager, whatever. This doesn't have to be the end of your WWE career. You just have to be smart about how you handle yourself from here on out.
Look at Corey Graves.
Yeah, exactly.
Best commentator on TV right now. I think she could be a manager, a commentator. Yeah, definitely. I never thought about commentating. I thought maybe the two avenues would be either manager for Absolution or the PC. I mean, there was a reason why she was a judge on Tough Enough. So, advanced screening of Fighting With My Family will happen over WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans. Those that asked Mike Johnson if there's any heat on Sasha Banks, the answer is no. Something that could have happened to anyone in the ring, not a direct result of Banks' actions. And Mike Johnson said the two did the exact same spot at Madison Square Garden the night before. So some sad news there, but hopefully Paige still wants to stay with the WWE family because I think there's a lot of value there. Unfortunately, though, the career cut short way too soon at the age of 25. Major news, followed by even more major news, but after the end of the television tapings, EC3 has departed from Impact Wrestling. The deal with the company was set to expire over the summer, but he's getting an early release and will be done after the last set of tapings on, I believe, the 13th that took place in Orlando, Florida, which kick off in February. EC3 started with the company in 2013 as the nephew of Dixie Carter, the owner then of Impact Wrestling. After a tenure in the WWE developmental state, NXT basically, he was part of the competition show and also the early days of NXT as we know it now as Derek Bateman. And he excelled at Impact Wrestling and is a multi-time world champion. And, Matt, he was scheduled to appear for an indie promotion on January 28th, the night of the Rumble, and that's all of a sudden canceled. So are we going to see EC3 at the Royal Rumble?
It certainly seems like that, doesn't it?
Wow. Wow. That was a bombshell. Well, Matt, you said it before we went on the air. Perfect number. Put him at number 3, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that's what they're going to call him. I mean, I know he trademarked it back in December, or maybe even prior to that, he went and trademarked the name EC3. So
I think he is a big enough star to where he will be. He may not be Ethan Carter III. I mean, that's a lot of words for Vince to think about. He likes to shorten things, so I think he goes, EC3, I like that. Okay, yeah, you can use that, yeah. So, well, we'll find out in about 11 days, won't we?
Yeah, we might hear before that.
True. The WWE Universe voted as Raw 25 is here Monday, just a couple of days from the Manhattan Center and Barclays Center. Going to be a fun night. We'll get into the list of those of WWE's past in just a minute. But the WWE Universe voted on the best moments in Raw history. You can go to the WWE Network and watch a collection of all 100, top 100. And there is one notable thing missing from that top 100. This is like one of my top 10 moments in Raw history, and I can't believe it's not on the list, Matt. The Undertaker Jeff Hardy ladder match for the title. I can't believe that was not in the top 100.
One of my favorite Raw moments that I thought for sure would be in the top 25, and they didn't have it in there, was the Rock Hollywood Hogan stare down.
Yeah, the crowd went fucking nuts for that.
The night they ran Rock over with the freaking 18-wheeler.
Yep.
Like the fact that they didn't have that was that in the top 100?
Yeah, it was. I remember.
Okay.
I can't remember where.
Like the fact that didn't hit the top 25 blew my mind. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
So the top 25, let's go down these here real quick. 25, Bubba Ray Dudley powerbombing Mae Young off the stage. I mean, hello. The lady was 80. That was a pretty crazy moment. Obviously,
it's funny. It's funny as hell, but I don't know if I think it's the top one of the top, 25 moments in Raw history.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe top 50, but 25. There's a lot. These 25 I question.
Yeah. So same here, but that's what you get when you have today's fans voting and not fans that have watched it for 25 years too.
Number 24, I think belongs the Kid defeating Razor Ramon. I mean, we're sitting here in 1993 getting ready to watch Razor Ramon beat up this little scrawny boy that we've seen a couple of times with about 8 different names. Squash match, and then you're like, oh shit, look what happens. Little do you know that he then evolves into X-Pac and a member of the Clique. But I think that was a cool moment. Number 23 definitely belongs around this area. Mr. McMahon revealing Eric Bischoff as the new Raw general manager, because that was just seeing him and Bischoff hug on stage, Matt, was insane, wasn't it?
That definitely belonged in the top 25. So
another one that does is when Shane McMahon walks down the aisle at Nitro to tell Vince he's purchased WCW from under his nose. That was number 22. This one I think should have been much higher, Matt. Number 21, Stone Cold Steve Austin ruining Mike Tyson's WrestleMania announcement. I thought this was definitely a top 10 moment, Matt. It was pandemonium in the ring. Tyson and Austin staring each other down. Vince famously yelling, "You ruined it!"
Ruined it. Yeah.
You agree that should have been...
Austin giving no fucks.
No. I loved it when he was in handcuffs and he bends over and gives Vince the double bird with his hands cuffed behind his back. Number 20, I'm surprised this was low. I mean, to me, it's borderline top 10, but I'm surprised Mick Foley presents This Is Your Life was at 20, Matt. I thought it should have been a little higher.
As long as this was in the top 25, I was fine with it.
The highest rated segment in WWE history. Number 19, another one I think that should have been ranked higher. I loved this segment. I thought it was just dastardly how it all went down. But when Triple H elopes with a passed out Stephanie McMahon and he reveals the footage during the wedding ceremony for Test and Stephanie, I thought that deserved to be a little higher than 19. I think that I actually did my own top 10 list, and I think I put that one in around number 9 or 8, Matt. So what was funny was the groomsmen, a young Edge, a young Christian, a young Jeff Hardy, were all groomsmen for the Test wedding.
Yep.
Number 18, I'm surprised this went so high, but as you just said, it's the universe voting and it's new. The Festival of Friendship at number 18. I don't think it was better than This Is Your Life. It was good.
It was more recent in the eyes of the current modern day viewer.
It was good.
And that's a couple ones in the top 10. I'm like, why are these even here?
Yep. Number 17.
So I mean, I get it's just part of it, but it is what it is.
Number 17. I'm surprised that Daniel Bryan's announcement was at 50 and Edge's was at 17. I thought maybe Daniel Bryan's would have ranked a little higher, but still Edge's retirement announcement, that was so emotional.
No one saw Edge's coming.
Yeah.
We knew the Bryan thing was coming.
Yeah, maybe that's a good point.
The Edge thing was a lot more blindsiding than Bryan's was.
Number 16, a hair high, but I think still top 25 worthy, maybe. We finally got the return of The Undertaker in 2011. When
this did not belong in the top 25.
I thought it was a cool moment, but maybe not top. I thought
this was the storyline everybody was expecting Sting to come out and confront The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, this did not belong in the top 25. Like, not even close.
It was a cool moment, but Triple H challenging The Undertaker.
There were so many other cooler Undertaker moments.
Yeah.
Throughout the 25 years of Raw that could have gone in place of that.
Now, number 15 should have been a hell of a lot higher when we had the bedpan shot heard around the world, Matt, when Stone Cold Steve Austin attacks Vince in the hospital. That's definitely like top. I think I might have put that about 7 when I came to think of it all. That was just a truly great moment, wasn't it? I'll take it from here, nurse. And then poor Vince getting the enema at the end. Gonna hurt you a lot more than it hurts me. 14. I don't know, Matt. Tell me what you think about this one being so high, because this was truly a shock when Shane McMahon returned to the WWE in February of 2016. to ruin the Vincent K. McMahon Legacy Award. You think it was a little too high, or do you think it kind of deserves it? Because, I mean, nobody saw this coming.
Oh, it was certainly a surprising moment.
Yeah.
And like I said, I go back to what I said earlier. It was something that was recent and fresh in the minds of the modern viewer right now, and that's why it placed where it placed.
Number 13, Jeff Hardy hitting a 33-foot swanton off the Titantron to Randy Orton. That was a pretty damn cool moment. But again, I think Jeff Hardy Taker ladder match for the title. This is before Jeff Hardy was even an established single star. That was one of my favorite moments in Raw history. And so I think that was a little better. But I'm surprised this didn't crack the top 10, Matt. Number 12, D-Generation X invades WCW.
You also need to keep in mind, like, especially if you're looking at the top 25, how many of the things where the top 25 was a match?
Yeah, not many.
You know, not many, if any, were an actual match. So, I mean, I think that's why your Jeff Hardy Undertaker ladder match was left off of here. This is more about, like, the moments instead of, you know, the overall match itself.
Number 9 was a match, though.
I said very little.
Yeah. But to leave it completely off top 100 was kind of baffling. Another, I think, chalk this up as new, doesn't belong this high. Brock Lesnar making a return to attack John Cena in 2012.
This wasn't a match?
No, I said number 9's a match. We're at 11.
Okay.
We all knew Lesnar was coming back that night.
Well, we were certainly led to believe that anyway. And that was the Raw that told myself every future WrestleMania I attend, I need to stay for Raw the next night.
Yeah.
Because I flew home that day from Miami instead of staying to see Raw that night live, so I missed the Lesnar return live.
Oh, you might have gone deaf for about a week though, because that crowd was fucking loud, wasn't it?
Nothing was louder than the crowd that night after WrestleMania 29 when Ziggler cashed in.
Yeah.
So, and I survived that.
Number 10, no. John Cena comes to Raw as the number 1 draft pick in 2005.
Yeah, I didn't get this either.
No.
No.
Number 9, an actual match, which I actually put as my number 3 moment of Raw history. Mankind winning the WWE Championship for the first time. First time ever being a world champion. Of course, the famous part of this was Tony Schiavone saying, "I'll put butts in the seats." Well, it did, because it basically kickstarted the WWE in the Monday Night Wars.
Well, it wasn't their kickstart, but it was the last WWE took the ratings lead that night and never lost it again.
Yeah.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak.
Number 8 is a truly monumental moment that belongs in the top 10. Trish and Lita main eventing Raw. Women main eventing Raw for the first time in 2004. Trish and Lita putting on a hell of a match. Lita taking one of the most ugliest bumps you'll ever see. I watched it. I watched that match the other day, and I'm just like, oh man, that when she lands on her neck, brutal. A lot of people cite that as kind of the kickstart of the women's revolution, because it's what.
Well, it's also the kickstart to the end of Lita's career.
True, because it
because of what she did to her neck that night.
Yeah, it motivated a lot of fans that you see in the WWE right now. So, number 7, Seth Rollins turning on his brothers in the Shield. A surprise. I mean, after they beat Evolution, but Matt, I don't think, to me it's not top 10 worthy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe top 30, but not 7. Number 6 definitely does not belong here. Night after WrestleMania last year, when Roman Reigns trolls the crowd for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't get this at all.
And
this was so weird. Like, it made no sense.
I don't think this would make my top 100. I mean, for it to be at number 6, really?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Number 5 was actually my number 1 moment when Stone Cold Steve Austin gave Vince the stunner for the first time. Because Vince was just a commentator at the time, you know? We didn't realize he was going to turn into what he turned into. Austin attacked Owen Hart. He was attacking everybody in sight. There were cops in the ring. And Vince decided to try to reason with Austin, tell him to work within the system. And that's when he ate his first stunner of many.
I was going to say first of many.
I wonder how many he ate total. It's got to be somewhere on the internet.
A lot.
Number 4 was my number 2 moment in Raw history, and probably the best debut of all time. Chris Jericho making his debut after the countdown to the Millennium Struck Zero, and his great promo with The Rock. Loved that moment for sure. And hey, Jericho's still getting it done today, isn't he, Matt?
Unbelievable.
Number 3, probably kind of high, but like we all said, some of these newer moments are kind of high. But it was a unique and cool moment. Occupy Raw. I think it deserves to be a top 25 moment.
It was an amazing visual moment.
Yeah.
That you'll probably never see again. I completely get why it was voted where it was voted.
Yeah. And then, of course, it got us what we wanted for WrestleMania 30, didn't it?
It most certainly did.
Number 2, I had it number 4, I believe, and it was Punk's pipe bomb.
This would be my number 1.
Really? Number 1? I put it at 4. I put Jericho and a couple Austin moments ahead of it, but god damn. How many times did you go, ooh?
Still even the clipped highlighted version still gave me chills. You know, it changed wrestling unfortunately for a very short period of time. But I would say like a year following that promo, wrestling was on a different landscape on the way things are being handled, and it was awesome.
I mean, how amazing was it a month later after that pipe bomb when, for the very first time in WWE, Cult of Personality played? I mean, that was such a great moment.
I miss Punk, man.
Was that on Raw or SmackDown, that Cult of Personality? That was on Raw, wasn't it? Why isn't
Raw.
That? Why wasn't that in the top 100 moments?
Because you're lucky. Because you're lucky you got one Punk moment in the top 100.
I guess. And number 1, I had it as my number 3, but I don't argue with it being number 1 because of how damn cool it was when Steve Austin nearly destroys the Titantron, bringing a Coors Light truck to the ring and soaking the corporation with some Coors Light beer. Vince swimming like a drowned duck in the ring was hilarious. And a great moment, and I have no qualms with their top 5, really. Occupy Raw maybe a hair high, but but overall the top 5, Matt, I think they did a pretty good job, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean it's just a list, and that's what lists do. They're just there for people to debate on. And,
you know what happens?
And this is really no different.
You know what happens when you vote Roman Reigns number 6 of all-time moments in Raw history? When all he said was 4 words. You know what happens when you vote Roman Reigns number 6 and all he said was 4 freaking words? You know what happens, Matt? You know what happens?
Nope.
You just made the list!
Sigh.
Raw 25, that's happening in a couple days. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's happening. Let's start with names that have been announced, starting with the latest edition. Today, Christian will be at Raw 25. Unfortunately, Edge will not. He is out of the country, so he will not be available for the television show. Trish Stratus announced on SmackDown this week as well, are the 2 newest names. before I get into the list of announced names, Matt, how weird is it that Mick Foley is going to be in New York City, but not booked on the show yet?
I thought he was out of town or something along those lines.
Oh. Well, Mike Johnson...
I don't know. Maybe I'm here. Maybe I heard wrong. I don't know.
Oh, wait. He's not going to be in New York City this coming... Well, it says he's not booked and not going to be in New York City unless something changes last minute. In my opinion, that's a shame, given the huge moment winning the championship.
Yeah, but my understanding was he wasn't going to be in town for it. That was that's what I was told a couple weeks ago. So
I figured maybe they would have reported that, but
I mean, maybe I misheard, or I don't know. That's what I was when I was running down names with one of my guys a few weeks ago, and Foley's name came up. I was told they wanted him there, but he wasn't going to be in town to do it. So I don't know.
So here we go. The long list of great names that are going to be appearing on Monday. Steve Austin, Ric Flair, The Undertaker, Hall, not Nash, as he confirmed after his recent surgery. There's no way he's going to be able to get on a plane unless it's his way of trying to get Vince to fly him out on the private jet. Who knows? The APA, JBL and Ron Simmons. The Dudleys, the Bella Twins, New Age Outlaws, DX, Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, Eric Bischoff, Chris Jericho, Sergeant Slaughter, Ted DiBiase, The Boogeyman, Brother Love, Teddy Long, John Laurinaitis, The Godfather, X-Pac, Mean Gene Okerlund, holy balls, Kelly, Jacqueline, Terry Runnels, Michelle McCool, Maria Kanellis, and Tori Wilson. Who are you excited to see out of that list there, Matt?
There's a lot of people. I don't want to single anybody out. There's a lot of people I'm excited to see. I think it's going to be a very fun, nostalgia-filled night, and I think they couldn't have picked a more perfect time to do it, because they're going to get as many eyeballs on this show as humanly possible right before the Royal Rumble, where they're going to want people to come in and buy the network for WrestleMania season, and this is going to be the best chance they have to gain a ton of new subscribers for people who haven't watched the product in a while.
Yep.
So this has got to be all hands on deck show, with as much nostalgia and excitement as they could possibly fill to get a bunch of new subscribers going into WrestleMania season.
Some of the women I mentioned are some of them going to be in the Rumble, you think?
I think everyone with the exception of Maria Kanellis has a shot of being in the Rumble. But I don't know. Will they be in the Rumble? I don't know. But I mean, they certainly have a chance. I mean, they've got like 12 open slots for the Rumble.
Yep.
For the women, we're gonna get a bunch of unless they're announced on Raw, we're gonna get a bunch of women's surprises on Sunday. Between I feel like we're gonna get a bunch of legends and some girls from NXT. Like the Ty Dillinger appearance last year.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get a bunch of if your favorite thing about the Rumble is the surprise of who's gonna come out next of people you didn't expect, the Women's Royal Rumble is gonna fill you. Is gonna give you your fill with that this year for sure. I think we're only gonna get a small handful of men that will be a surprise, maybe 3 to 5 tops, probably maybe closer to 2 to 3 over 3 to 5. But we're gonna get a bunch of surprises in the women's one, so I feel like that's gonna make up for it.
Yeah, I can see. I think both Bellas are going to be in it. I can see Kelly. I'm not sure if Jacqueline and Terry Reynolds still wrestle. Obviously, Maria's pregnant. I could see Tori Wilson and Michelle McCool competing too. So, you think Trish competes in it?
I hope so.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool? A standoff between Trish and Asuka. Nobody's ready.
Well, if Trish is blonde, we could have a mirror match between Trish Stratus and Mandy Rose.
Yeah. I didn't know she was engaged to Otis Dozovich. I did not know that.
I have no idea who that is.
Heavy Machinery.
Wait, what?
Heavy Machinery. I guess somebody said she's engaged to.
Who is?
Mandy Rose.
I have not heard that.
Yeah.
I thought she was married. Prior to starting Tough Enough.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I think you might have misheard. I feel like she's already married.
Mike Johnson gave us the list of who hasn't been mentioned for Raw 25. The Rock, Bret Hart, Edge, we already know. Batista, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, and Hulk Hogan. Well, Hogan, I think he said he was going to be somewhere.
He said he's going to be sitting at home watching it on TV.
Yeah.
Which is Hogan speak first, please somebody call him Book Me Brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
Honestly, I think if they don't bring Hogan in, I think it's kind of a bummer. And he's, with all the names already advertised, he's not someone you need to advertise. You can legitimately bring him in as a surprise. I do think it would be a bummer not to utilize Hogan at some point in this special next Monday. But It is what it is.
I bet The Rock probably does a tape thing.
Rock's a busy guy, man. I mean, that's just...
Yeah. So I bet he taped something for it. Like, just a message. Punk, no.
I wish.
Jeff Hardy...
I heard Jeff will be there.
Oh, cool. Okay. Mike Johnson mentioned that Bret Hart and Mick Foley were mentioned in initial localized advertising, but since then have not been mentioned.
I haven't heard anything about Bret. I didn't even think to ask.
Batista's talking about returning to the WWE, but
Batista doesn't like to do his one-off pop shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Batista stated on several occasions when he wants to come back, he wants it to be a lone run comeback as like his last hurrah. Batista's not into coming back and getting the cheap pop and disappearing. So yeah. Unless he would be coming in to start a WrestleMania storyline, I don't think we see Big Dave on Monday.
Just don't put him in the Rumble.
Even if they do, he ain't gonna win.
No. Now that the talks with Impact fell apart, what do you think about Ray?
There's a chance. There's always a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm just... Yeah. I don't wish to disrespect Ray. So in the simplest form I could say it, my heart's not going to be broken or unbroken either way if Rey Mysterio isn't on Raw Monday night.
Yeah. The news keeps on pouring in. The headliner for the 2018 Hall of Fame class of the WWE was announced, and not a surprise if you've listened to the show as we expected this year to be none other than Goldberg. Of course, Goldberg busted through the scene in WCW during the height of the NWO and was able to make a name for himself in a killer undefeated streak that Kurt Hawkins may match someday on the opposite side of things.
Asuka's already broken it.
Yeah, Asuka's already broken Goldberg's streak. And then they ended the streak, and that about ended WCW, right? Of course, Goldberg came to WWE, but it just didn't quite run. And if you watched Goldberg's 24, it didn't gel, probably because he didn't really want to be there at the time. But he got his mind right, and the stars aligned, and 12 years later he made a return in what Matt and I would probably agree with a great run for Goldberg from Survivor Series to WrestleMania. I thought it was well done by
it was one of the greatest comeback runs that WWE has ever done.
For a guy that didn't do it for 12 years, it was an amazing job for him, and so definitely deserving of the headliner for the Hall of Fame. And yeah, I'm probably gonna go ahead and pencil the Undertaker in for next year's headliner.
See, I don't know.
You don't think, don't know that he's done, or don't know what?
I can't mentally visualize Mark Calloway standing at the podium accepting the induction into the Hall of Fame.
Really?
I can't. I don't know why. I
understand what you're saying. I mean,
and I hate to even say this because it makes me feel ugh just even saying it. I don't think the Undertaker's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame until he dies. Because I can't see him going up there and cutting a speech. I wish he would. The man can talk. You go back and watch the American Badass era.
Yeah.
The dude can talk and cut a hell of a promo. I'm sure he could have, the audience in the palm of his hand if he wanted to go up there and talk. It's just normally not the thing that he would ever do. Like he's never been to the Hall of Fame. Like to protect him, he's so protective of the mystique of his character. He's never sat in the crowd at a WWE Hall of Fame. It's just I don't know, man. Like he deserve it? Duh.
Yeah.
My problem is just actually being able to visualize it. I can't. Like I just can't.
I mean, in terms of we use the word gimmick sometimes negatively or loosely in the business, but in terms of a gimmick, Undertaker is the best gimmick in pro wrestling history of all time. It transcended several decades. It was a creation we saw in the late 80s, and it evolved in the Attitude Era into what we saw with the Ministry and the corporate ministry, and then it became the American Badass, which I love the American Badass. And then, of course, the Return of the Dead Man for the last years of his career. And I guess right now we're looking at Cena and Undertaker at WrestleMania. So.
Yes, we are.
All right, more big news continues to pour in. A guy by the name of Trevor Mann signed with the NXT. You might know him by the name of Ricochet. One of probably the top free agent in professional wrestling today. Ricochet officially is with the WWE. Of course, he's known as Prince Puma in Lucha Underground, a multi-time champion there. Also wrestled for Dragon Gate and Evolve and New Japan. He's been an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. He's been a Never Openweight 6-man Tag Champion, and also won Best of the Super Juniors in 2014. The second American to do so after Eddie Guerrero was the first. So, man, oh man, I can't wait to see what they do with Ricochet, Matt.
It's gonna be great. They can't screw Ricochet up. I mean, the main roster could screw Ricochet up, but like they ain't gonna screw him up in NXT.
I hope we get somewhere down the line we get a Ricochet Leo Rush match.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
You give those guys 20 minutes and let them just do what they do. People's jaws will be on the damn floor.
That might kill some of the ill will that he has, that Leo has in the locker room still. So, putting him in a 20-minute match with Ricochet.
I just feel like people need to let that go.
Well, I think
they really do.
I'm not talking
Kid made a damn mistake. I'm talking about everybody in general.
I know.
Like people need to let this shit go.
Maybe they have. I mean, we're not back there, so. Then, oh god, I hope AOP's still around so these guys can clash. Rowe and Hansen, War Machine, have signed with WWE and will be reporting to the Performance Center if they haven't already, and join NXT. That's going to be some fun. I would assume they are still going to be known as Ricochet and War Machine, don't you think?
I would certainly think so. I hope so. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be. Like I don't think you should change any of these guys' names. Like please let him be Ricochet.
And finally,
it's bad enough the dude had to be Prince Puma for 3 years.
And finally, the last of the good signings over the week, Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae, who made it to the third round of the inaugural Mae Young Classic before tapping out to Shayna Baszler. She has officially signed with the WWE as well.
Double E.
And yes, Kurt. And most of the majority of her career spent with Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, of course, famously known as being a part of the cutest tag team with Joey Ryan. And Johnny Gargano.
I'm not brokenhearted that that's done.
Not a Joey Ryan fan, huh?
You know I'm not.
And Johnny Wrestling with a great tweet yesterday after the announcement. A great tweet. Actually, he tweeted this before WWE even announced it, but said she's one of the best in the world and got here on her own merit. Blood, sweat, and tears. She sacrificed and worked incredibly hard for a very long time. I'm proud of my wife, Candice, but even prouder of my wrestler, the toughest person I know, Candice LeRae. Goldberg commented on the induction to the Hall of Fame. Took a screenshot of the breaking news on his phone and put it onto Instagram and said, well, after being knocked on my ass all weekend with this damn flu, not a bad way to kick off the new week. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you who has ever been a fan. This accomplishment could not have been made without you all. I'm very honored and humbled to be inducted. Hashtag who's next? Looks like I'm next. So, good stuff there from Goldberg. Is he wrestling at Mania, Matt?
No. This is no.
Is he ever wrestling again for WWE?
I'd say probably not, but never say never. I don't think he's working Mania, though. I think he had the perfect storybook ending in his career. I don't think he needs to ever work another match.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree. If he never does, it's not a bad way to go. If anybody is more happier that Monday Night Football is no longer on, it's the WWE. They gained 500,000 viewers this week, going up from 2.76 million to 3.25 million. Of course, the dreaded third hour drop-off still exists, but the third hour did have 300,000 more viewers than the previous week. And Matt, you got a bold prediction for Raw 25, don't you?
I think they're going to get over 4 million. I really do. I think it's going to be a big number.
Since the first edition of Raw in 2016, so over 2 years worth of Raws, they have only eclipsed 4 million twice. After the Rumble on January 25th in 2016 when Triple H won it, and after Mania in Dallas were the only two times they eclipsed 4 million since 2016. And both were barely over 4 million. So definitely a tall task because the Raw after Mania this year only got 3.76 million. So see what happens there. But it's definitely a stacked card. So. The 18th, as Matt said, 18 women have been announced for the Royal Rumble, and the 18th competitor has been announced. Dana Brooke from Titus Worldwide has announced her entry into the Rumble, joining Asuka, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Lana, Liv Morgan, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, Naomi and Natalya, Nia Jax, Paige.
A.K.A. the entire Raw and SmackDown women's rosters, minus the champions.
Scratch Paige there. Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, Sasha Banks, Sonya Deville, and Tamina. Actually, I think without Paige, that makes 17. So, yeah, so that could be 13 surprises. I think we're going to pencil the Bellas in for 2.
Yeah, Bellas are totally in.
Matt.
And I feel like the Bellas will start their WrestleMania storyline in the Royal Rumble.
Matt Hardy posted on YouTube. Vanguard 1. Is he returning to the WWE? Is he coming to the WWE?
Well, it'd be hard to return to something he's never been. But Matt did recently state on Twitter that the arrival of
the family
on TV is imminent. So
wonderful.
yeah, I'm going to take his word for it and hope this happens. He also said, I think he said this to IGN or somebody recently in an interview. They asked him if they were going to end up doing some type of final deletion thing with him and Bray Wyatt. And he said absolutely 100%.
Yeah, I heard that it could start at the Wyatt. It could start at the Wyatt compound and maybe end at the Hardy compound.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Especially if they let Matt have the creative freedom over to do it right, and it's not like the fucking, Bray Wyatt Randy Orton match.
Yeah. If only they had Jeremy Borash around to direct it. This week's longest running segment, probably in the history of our show, This Week in Gone from Impact Wrestling. Chris Masters, a.k.a. Chris Adonis, has announced his departure from Impact Wrestling and thanked Sanjay Dutt, Ed Nordholm, and Scott D'Amore on his way out the door. He was brought in last year during Jeff Jarrett's tenure and was the backup for Eli Drake. Matt, do you see a third stint with the WWE for Mr. Masters?
I mean, it could certainly happen. I mean, I don't first see it, but I mean, I was still surprised that they let him go to begin with. So I mean, anything could happen. We'll wait and see what happens.
And even more Impact deletions. EC3, we already mentioned, he is also completely free and clear to go anywhere, hence us talking about him for the Royal Rumble. Bobby Lashley is free and clear to sign anywhere after February 1st. So he won't be in the Rumble, kids. But do you think he comes back to the WWE?
I do not. I think he's going to focus on Bellator. I don't foresee him coming back to WWE until his MMA career is done.
And officially, Chelsea Green, a.k.a. Laurel Van Ness, is gone from the company, too. I think she does come back to the WWE.
I think she's NXT bound.
Yep.
I think the reason why she asked her release to begin with is because her boyfriend told her that there was a deal waiting for her.
Oh.
So.
Woo.
Yeah, that's all. That's my opinion, and you ain't gonna be able to convince me otherwise.
Something cool that already happened, unfortunately, in Phoenix, Arizona at Ace Comic-Con. Hulk Hogan and Sting appeared together for a photo op. That's interesting. Brother.
Oh, brother.
Eddie Edwards' injury update. He underwent a CT scan. Was diagnosed with several broken bones in his face as well as a broken nose. And his cuts had to be glued shut.
Yeah.
Eek. Get well soon, Eddie. Jason Jordan missed the Raw live events over the weekend due to injury, according to Mike Johnson at PW Insider. The nature of the injury has not been revealed yet, but as you know, he did appear on Raw but didn't compete, I don't think. He just interrupted, like he does best, right?
Yeah.
Hall of Fame tickets are on sale. Now that you know who the headliner is, go get them if you want to go. I'm sure if you go to WWE.com, you could probably figure out where to go. They'll tell you. Lawler and JR will be the announce team from the Manhattan Center for Raw 25, so that's going to be pretty damn cool. As was announced last week, about an hour's worth will be at the Manhattan Center, and the other 2 hours at the Barclays. Basically going to be going back and forth. I would assume most of the Manhattan stuff's going to be nostalgia, not much newer stars, right, Matt?
I would think so, but I also feel like they're going to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, there were a lot of stars that apparently have gone to management and said they want to be at the at the Manhattan Center because they want to witness the nostalgia in the evening from that location. And apparently, a couple of guys are going to pull double duty. Apparently, both Shawn Michaels and Undertaker are going to be at both locations. So, of course, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker were In the very first episode of Monday Night Raw in January of 1993, Michaels took on Max Moon for the Intercontinental title, and Undertaker took on Damien Demento. Matt, did you watch the Raw 25 special after Monday Night Raw Monday with Rosenberg and Graves?
I did.
And
I did.
And Sean Mooney?
That's how I do the 25 spots.
I actually I had the day off I took the day off on Monday, and I had the day off on Tuesday because I'm working on Saturday. So I had 2 days off plus the weekend, and so on I broke it up a little bit, but I watched the entire collection from 25 to 1 on the network.
Nice.
So, yeah, when I went to it, I realized, oh crap, the whole 100's on here, but I didn't watch all 100 yet. But and unfortunately, Mooney can't be at Raw 25. I didn't know this until just now.
Why can't he?
He says, I was invited but can't make it. But at least my long-time close personal friend Peter Rosenberg stopped by the WWE warehouse to play. Of course, the little segment they had during that little special.
It was some funny shit.
Mark Henry has announced that he has retired quietly, probably the way he wanted to do it, but he has officially retired, and actually Henry said he's considered himself retired for the past 3 months. But he goes, I'm retired until someone runs off at the mouth and I have to come put them in their place. I'm like Ric Flair. I'm going to retire about 7 or 8 times. Still, this did make the top 100. Mark Henry's retirement in that awesome suit, saying he was going to retire, and then gave John Cena the world's strongest slam. I love that moment too, by the way. Aunt Dixie commented on EC3's Impact departure and goes, I can't tell you how proud I am to be the aunt of EC3. This guy especially deserves great things. Excited for your future, Ian, whatever it holds. Serena Deeb was being reported that she is making a return to the WWE, and she's at the Performance Center actually this week. And so there is interest in bringing her back to the company, and she did her pre-signing testing and everything last week. So be interested to see if she returns to either NXT or the main roster. Of course, her best known moments were with CM Punk's Straight Edge Society, and then of course she made her return to the company at the Mae Young Classic. All right, an update on that crazy Vince McMahon movie. Last year, PW Insider broke that Bradley Cooper was offered the role of Vinnie Mac in a movie called Pandemonium, the life story of the chairman and CEO of the WWE. He's been awaiting an updated version of the screenplay before making a decision on if he'll take the role or not. And PW Insider has confirmed that the updated screenplay has been completed and turned into the studio. Should they approve, then it will be sent to Bradley Cooper and his team. Plans are to begin filming in the spring. As Matt mentioned, where's Hulk Hogan going to be on the night of Raw 25th anniversary? He's going to be at home washing his tights. Your line was so funny, Matt. I mean, because that is so true.
Well, you know Hogan. We all know Hogan. So
Hogan knows best, right?
Yeah.
Get well soon to Impact knockout Sienna. She was diagnosed with blood clots in her lungs and was hospitalized in Orlando, Florida. She posted on Twitter, went to the hospital during tapings as she thought she displaced a rib or collapsed a lung, but it turns out she has a blood clot in each lung. She won't be wrestling right now, but still making appearances. And hopefully she gets well soon. Impact has launched a channel on Twitch and streaming, kicking it off with streaming the first ever TNA pay-per-view from June 19th in Huntsville, Alabama. So they've officially started that now on Twitch, if you can go find them there. Roman Reigns commented on the steroid allegations. A lot of news came out this week of tying Roman Reigns to the steroid ring of Richard Rodriguez, who was the former owner of Iron Addicts Gym in Miami. He is now jailed after being arrested by the DEA in February of last year. He named Reigns as one of his clients in a clip from an interview that a documentary filmmaker is working on. Reigns issued a statement to PW Insider on actually this evening, just a short while ago, and said, "I have never heard of Robert Rodriguez or the Wellness Fitness Nutrition. I learned from the mistake I made nearly 2 years ago and paid the penalty for it. Since then, I've passed 11 tests as part of WWE's independent drug testing program." I think I'll trust a guy that is not in jail over a guy that's in jail, Matt.
Yeah.
What do you think about that whole
It's a mess. But it is what it is.
Do you think maybe this was part of his screw up, and so
no?
So what?
No.
Oh, okay. Something different, huh?
Yeah.
Matt, did you watch the mixed match challenge last night?
Yeah, I did.
I thought it was cool.
It was fun.
A lot of. I think that was what it was intended to be. It was fun. I mean, if you see all the hype videos and videos that where they were introducing each other as partners, that's the whole intent of this whole thing. And we got ourselves a hell of a first match to kick it off. I thought it was awesome when Nakamura caught Sasha diving out of the ring, and Sasha diving onto Nakamura to break up a pin. I mean, those are some of those dynamics that you don't normally see, and I thought was pretty cool to see. Matt, who do you think is going to win the mixed match challenge?
The team that's doing Connor's Cure.
I have not seen who's got what.
Alexa Bliss and Braun Strowman are going for Connor's Cure.
Oh. See, I did my predictions before I knew who had what, and I went with Charlotte and Rude to defeat Miz and Asuka in the finals, but oh boy. If they oh boy.
Yep, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, welp. Say no more.
I hope that's not the case, but oh well.
You damn well know it is.
Yep. NXT tonight, as we head towards TakeOver Philly. We kick it off with Heavy Machinery taking on Moss and Sabatelli. And thanks to a little bit of cheating, Moss and Sabatelli get the upset win. They still not impressing you, Matt?
Meh.
Yeah. How about the Undisputed Era? Do they impress you?
How can the Undisputed Era not impress you?
Exactly. Adam Cole says TakeOver is their event. He's going to fight Aleister Black. There's 1,000,001 ways to beat him and hurt him. He'll mangle and injure Black. And then Kyle says that everybody wants a shot at the tag champs, but they fail to realize that this is the Undisputed Era. Fish says you're earning the right to step up and get dropped by O'Reilly and Fish. In vignettes that look a lot like the old NWO vignettes. And they went back to last week's announcement that the match between Black and Cole will be in Extreme Rules, and they showed a bunch of vintage ECW footage with that as well. Second match of the evening, Roddy Strong takes on Fabian Eichner, former Cruiserweight Classic competitor who is now trying to carve his own niche in NXT. Roddy Strong. Not many times I've seen Roddy finish a match with a stronghold, but good to see him use that. After the match, he got on the mic and said someone asked for a fight, and Strong said he felt the same way. And he has run through all the competition in NXT just like me, and Strong has entered the ring with a force that he's never seen before, and that is a force he wants to destroy. And Roderick challenges Lars Sullivan to a match. What do you think about that one, Matt?
He's out of his damn mind.
Yeah, I don't think Lars is losing, is he?
Not anytime soon. He's got Dane at TakeOver.
Good to see. Yeah, good to see TM61 cutting a promo, and then they show a little kind of a get-to-know-you video package that NXT does so well since these guys have been out for about a year. And then part 2 of that video will be shown next week. Matt's favorite NXT women's wrestler up next, Aaliyah, as she takes on Lacey Evans. And by Matt's favorite NXT wrestler, I mean probably last place, right?
Hey, interesting stats on the WWE Mixed Match Challenge. On Facebook, is within 24 hours, it's generated 1.2 million plus views and over 10,000 shares.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good numbers.
5 times more than watch Impact, right?
But don't.
Lacey Evans gets the quick win over Aaliyah and cuts a promo on how Regal can let the lowest levels of suicidal trash walk around the women's division. That instantly made Lacey Evans one of Matt's favorites because he called Aaliyah trash.
Well, she's not wrong.
And she's going to start with the classless psychos like Nikki Cross or the confused Ember Moon or the pathetic Kyrie. Before she could say sane, Shayna Baszler shows up and Lacey quit talking. She backed up, didn't she, Matt?
I wish she would have stayed and got beat up, but...
And then in what will be Matt's NXT moment of the year, we're only 17 days into the year, but what will be Matt's NXT moment of the year, Shayna Baszler choking out Aaliyah.
It was amazing!
And then Ember Moon makes the save.
Ember Moon had to ruin it.
Yep, she had to ruin it. Ember says if Shayna wants to bully someone, why don't you try that with me? And wants Shayna to get in the ring to do it right now. Yeah, Shayna's like, nah, do it another time. And she goes, don't forget your gear because I'm going to beat your ass, says Ember Moon. And Shayna goes, oh, okay, how about Philadelphia? And remember your title. So, though Regal did not want to give Baszler a title match, he has no choice now because Ember Moon wants to give it to her. And at NXT TakeOver, we will get Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler for the title. Are they putting the rocket all the way up and shooting her straight to the top, Matt? Or what are we going to get out of this, you think?
I think Kerry Sane costs Baszler the title.
Definitely makes sense after Baszler's debut in Full Sail.
Yep.
Zelina Vega says that Gargano has no choice or no chance against Andrade Cien Almas, and he's lucky to earn the title match. And Velveteen Dream had a good point that it was his shot, and Gargano should be forced to prove himself and put the title match on the line. Regal advised Johnny not to do that.
I'm telling you right now. The way they're booking this. If Gargano doesn't win the NXT Championship in Philly, he's going to look really bad coming out of this match.
What if Ciampa screws him?
Even so, they have verbally buried him so badly.
Yeah.
Going into this thing. So if he does not overcome the odds, quote unquote, and he does not beat Almas for the championship in Philly, it's gonna hurt his NXT run considerably. Like he has to win that title. He absolutely positively has to win that title in Philadelphia.
No Way Jose appears on the screen and says that there were a lot of ups and downs in 2017. But 2018 will be the year for him. He'll be back next week. And shortly after that promo, Gargano came to the ring and said he has something to say. He just saw the conversation between Zelina Vega and William Regal And here's all the talking behind his back. Velveteen Dream, Vega, and maybe even Regal doubt his ability to beat Almas. And Johnny said he's done being doubted around here. He's not a broken man. He's not a loser. This is not a fluke. This is his time.
He's not
his opportunity.
broken.
Well, wonderful. He tells Velveteen Dream that he wants to put his opportunity on the line. He has it next week. And so he knows who he is. He's Johnny freaking Wrestling.
Bitch.
He's here to burn it down. No. Yeah, I think this is the losing streak, everything. I think it all was leading to Gargano winning the title. And Ciampa saying hello to end TakeOver. That's how I think it's going down. So, God, Gargano Dream next week? That's going to be fucking good, huh?
I would certainly think so. I would find it hard to not be good.
The number one contendership for the NXT Tag Team Championships is the main event. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, Street Profits take on Authors of Pain. And the Street Profits weren't ready for prime time just yet, as the Authors of Pain pretty much destroyed the Street Profits. So your new number one contenders are Akam and Razor. And Matt, are we getting a triple threat out of this? Kind of almost a pseudo War Games rematch? You think we're going three-way with Sanity being added back in?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. I just wondered because they never did get their title shot, so. Does Sanity get called up after Mania?
Yes.
Because I think Nikki Cross debuts at the Rumble. And then, just like the Ty Dillinger,
yeah.
then they wrap up storylines in NXT and debut after Mania. You agree with those
yeah,
timelines?
no, it's certainly possible. Sanity should get called up after WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think they can transcend into the main. I mean, everybody knows
they should put them on
Eric Young.
SmackDown, and they should let Nikki Cross destroy the Riot Squad all by herself.
Oh, that would be wonderful! Yeah.
And Eric Young and them can just stand there and laugh.
If I could do an Eric Young impersonation, I'd do one right now. But yeah,
your voice isn't raspy enough.
That would it would.
You're not doing Eric Young.
That's Vince, damn it! Who is this short guy?
This is Vince, you dumb son of a bitch.
This guy thought he was Daniel Bryan a couple years ago, didn't he?
Why the fuck is Daniel Bryan rising on the betting odds to win the fucking Royal Rumble? I'm not letting that midget win the fucking Rumble. I wouldn't let him win it when he was healthy. Idiots.
Is he?
He's gone.
I hear not.
He's gone from 60-1 to 35-1 to like 9-1.
Oh, 9-1 now? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Is Nakamura still the leader?
And right now, it's still Nakamura and Reigns are the top two. Betting odds favorite at the moment. Nakamura 1, Roman Reigns 2.
Of course, we know Reigns is highly up there because of Vince's Boner Bowl.
Yeah. Well, weirdly enough, Cena's at 3. We should all know by now Cena's not winning the Rumble because we all know what his WrestleMania future holds. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You think anybody ever matches Austin's 3?
It's possible.
Who has won 2? Orton? That is on the roster. Orton and Cena. Is that it?
Yeah, I think Orton and Cena.
Let's see. HBK was the other one.
No, HBK ain't gonna come back and quit.
No, I'm talking about just winners. Here we go. Triple H, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, right, brother. Batista. So Hogan, Michaels, Triple H, Batista, Cena, Orton. Triple H ain't winning it again. He just did in 16 because of the injuries. They had nothing else they could do. And Batista ain't winning it. We learned that lesson. Cena probably will win one more.
I hope not.
You just know he will. And Orton just won last year, so. Monday Night Raw takes place from San Antonio, Texas. And they showed the great scene from Monday Night Raw last week when Braun Strowman did his best Batman imitation and threw a grappling hook onto a big metal truss and pulled it down on top of Kane and Lesnar. How badass was that scene, Matt?
It was fucking awesome, dude. I love all the Braun stuff. Some people are like, oh, it's stupid. I'm like, dude, if you think it's stupid, honestly, why are you watching fucking pro wrestling to begin with? This is the kind of shit that's like, if you're gonna go beyond the wrestling and you're looking for other stuff to be entertained with, like things outside of the ring of the product, I would take the stuff that Strowman's doing over a 20-minute promo any day of the week. How he jumped off whatever to chase down. Was it the Miz? He was chased down at one time, or was that Roman? Or I don't know who was. God, where he was running on the dock. That was the Miz Taraj, yeah. When he came back out of the garbage disposal. Yep. No, dude, Braun's the GOAT, man. And he can make anything work. He stole story time with Adam Cole, and he made it work.
I'm gonna tell you a story.
The fact that fucking Braun Strowman's out there doing story time and it worked, the dude can do anything. The dude can absolutely positively do anything right now. So
it's so hard to book him as a heel because he's just so awesome at everything, and that's why everybody cheers him because they all know it. And listen to us when we say, I mean, he was this close, very, very close to being Wrestler of the Year. But we had to give it to AJ. But Strowman was very, very, very close. So, story time with Braun Strowman, baby. And talks about how the story of how he's going to become Universal Champion. Angle comes out with a bunch of guys in security shirts that are going to get their ass kicked later, and tells Strowman that he's fired. And crowd boos because we all know he's not fired. But
dude, I'll tell you, there were at certain points where I was terrified out of my mind
that it was going to be Kane and Lesnar.
That was going to happen, and that Braun was going to go to SmackDown and win the Royal Rumble, and we were going to get AJ Styles versus Braun Strowman at WrestleMania. I was 100% legit terrified for 3 minutes during a portion early in the show. I'm like, oh my god, I do not want Braun Strowman versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Please make sure this storyline is finished tonight so I don't have to be thinking about this going into SmackDown tomorrow. I did not want that to happen.
They show Strowman angrily walking backstage with the security guys behind him. So far, Strowman's holding his composure. They get to the doors, and one dumbass security guy decided to touch Strowman on the shoulder and say, "You gotta go." Whoops! And all 5 or 6 or 12 security guys went a-flying. I love... Again, Strowman is also now becoming the king of one-liners, Matt. I'm not finished yet. I'm not leaving until everybody gets these hands.
He mentioned on some interview recently that he's trying to get a Get These Hands t-shirt made. So I still rather would have had I'm not finished with you shirt, but as long as the shirt's cooler than the shirt he has right now, I want a Strowman shirt.
Me too.
But I don't like the current shirt he has right now. So
yeah, I don't hate it. I don't love it.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it enough that I'd want to buy it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm just like, I'm still waiting for the fucking Matt Hardy merch to happen. Because I want to wait when that shit's out. I want to get that in the Rusev shirt on one of their buy one get one sales or whatever. Yeah. But I'm like, where the fuck's the Matt Hardy merch? That's my main mysterious question right now. Where's the Matt Hardy merch?
I got some fantasy football money this week, so I went to WWE shopping and took advantage of their clearance sale, so a sale on top of a sale. finally got myself the Revival shirt. And from NXT, I think it was. I think it's an NXT shirt. The Just Fist, no flips.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's their NXT shirt. And I got an Ambrose shirt that I didn't have. And then I got an Eva Marie Funko because I collect Funkos. The Funko Pop. I don't have any WWE ones, so oddly enough, Matt, this is my first WWE Funko Pop, and it's Eva Marie. Shit, it costs like $350.
I only have one pop, and it came with the collector's version of WWE 2K15. It's a Hollywood Hogan pop. It's the only one I have. I'm not really a fan of the whole pop craze. You know, to me, they're kind of a little creepy. But, you know, to each their own. The people that love them, you know, more power to you. I'm glad you have something fun to collect. You know, I still collect things too. I think everybody collects something. The pop, I don't know, just the big circle black guys, they creep me out. So
I think the majority of my pops are Batman. I've got I do have a set of Peanuts because I'm a big Peanuts fan. Charlie Brown and Snoopy. I've got that whole set, and I've got a whole set of Lebowski Funko Pops too, because of course Lebowski's my favorite movie of all time. But yeah, this is my first WWE pop though, and I was like, oh shit, $350, why not? You know, so. Next up is The Bar making their entrance, and they get a Raw Tag Team title match against Rollins and Jordan at the Rumble. They face Titus Worldwide after they got the upset win last week. They face them again, which, again, these guys, I think they put on a pretty good match. I mean, Apollo Crews is a top talent. They just got to figure out what to do with them. Well, thanks to Jason Jordan, we don't say that much, but thanks to Jason Jordan, he distracts The Bar, and Titus Worldwide gets a win for the second week in a row. How about that, Matt?
I felt like I was watching a WWE 2K cutscene.
That's funny, because you're right.
Yeah, I know I am.
Well, at least at least this week, I don't think SmackDown copy and pasted anything like they did last week with having a surprise tag team win. So there's that.
Absolution won their match. Riot Squad won theirs.
Okay, copy and paste.
And that's what they've done every week. If you, wait and see what happens with Absolution on Raw. Win, lose, segment, whatever. And I guarantee you the same thing happens with Riot Squad the next day. If Absolution loses on Monday, Riot Squad loses on Tuesday. If they get run off on Monday, they get run off. Riot Squad gets run off on Tuesday. It's the same damn thing every fucking week. And I'm begging the Road Doggy Dog to get your head out of your fucking ass and actually book the fucking female talent a little better on SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
I'm not even asking you just to improve the overall SmackDown product because that's too much to ask at this point. But can you at least start with the female talent? Like, can you fix it? Because it was really good a year ago, and now it's shit.
Well, at least Absolution's only lost once, and Riot Squad's lost a lot more than once. So there is that. Shot some people in catering, and a random guy comes up, goes, "Oh shit, Braun Strowman's coming! Look out!" And Kurt Hawkins is sitting there eating with who was he eating with there? Was that Kalisto?
Dude, no, it was just Hawkins and a bunch of nobodies I didn't know.
Yeah, the
only person I recognized was Hawkins.
But when you saw Kurt Hawkins in catering, you knew he was going to get fucked up by Strowman, didn't you?
To me, it was just a one big inside joke.
The best part about this whole thing...
If this would have been on SmackDown, it would have been Zack Ryder.
The best thing about this whole segment was there was a random guy in catering holding a chocolate cake about ready to shit his pants. Strowman stares at him and grabs a piece of cake and leaves. Again, Strowman's the GOAT, isn't he? And it's so funny how you use that term. You use that term on Twitter as Raw was happening. I watched Raw a little later, and I DM'd you without even, because I didn't want to look at your tweets because I didn't want Raw to get ruined. So I said Strowman's the GOAT, and we both said without knowing that Strowman's the GOAT.
He is, dude. He's so one of a kind, unique talent that they've had in such a long time that has gotten over organically through his own actions on how he's able to portray his character to the audience, and you can't teach what he's doing. And it's awesome.
And on top of that, he's a great person outside of the ring too. If you ever follow him on social media and Instagram and stuff, I mean, he's just a great person too, which makes it even better to root for him. Cedric Alexander comes to the ring to take on Tony Nese. I don't know, Matt. I'm there's times where I get into 205 Live, and then it's just like I can't get into it.
I'm totally not into 205 Live right now.
I just can't get into it lately. I'll get my fill on Raw, and that's about it.
I feel like it's stuck in a mud patch right now. When you're driving a car and you get stuck in a mud patch and you're trying to drive out and you're skidding your tires and the mud's flying everywhere. I feel like that's what 205 Live is right now, and it just needs something to get behind the proverbial car and push it out and get it back on the track. And I'm not sure what it is right now, but it's.
And I hope Vince doesn't think it's Aleister Black.
I don't even want to think about it. Aleister Black needs to put on about 5 pounds or so. Down there.
210. Oh, yeah. I'm 210. I'm 210. I can't do it. Shit, I don't even think he weighs 2.
He's been built at 205 since he's been in NXT. So he needs to gain a couple pounds, get up to 210, 215, and get out of the even the idea that he's going to be stuck on there when he gets called up.
Are you Alistair, are you vegetarian, vegan, anything? No? All right. Here's a plate of triple cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Please eat these for 30 days. Thank you. I'm just kidding.
Don't make him do that.
Angle in the office, and John Cone comes in and says, "Call the cops." A ref came in and said he needs to call the cops, and then John Cone comes in and says he's going for the production trucks, and then in a bad, sorry Angle, but this is bad acting. Oh my God, they're worth $12 million. We gotta go.
It's funny as hell. It was bad acting, but it was fun. It was the bad acting that makes you laugh.
Maybe it was done purposely.
That's how I just burst out laughing.
So did I. Maybe Angle did that on purpose. Maybe he put the old little cowboy hat on for a minute and decided to be goofy. Maybe he did it on purpose. Strowman walks towards the production trucks, and Matt, who were you hoping he was going to find?
Kevin Dunn. He was shown. They showed him in the truck. It just, I wanted Strowman to beat his ass.
He asked if he smashed everything, would it shut down Raw? And then he threw some papers around because throwing papers around is tough.
Look. Clearly, you couldn't do much in there.
No,
I get why it was minimal of what happened. So
then Strowman separates the trailer from the semi. And tries to flip over the fucking semi because he's putting that strongman background to work. Angle shows up and says he's called the cops. Angle's phone rang and he didn't look happy because we know who probably called. And Strowman says, "I'm tipping this sumbitch over anyways." And with about 8 camera angles, they show Strowman tipping over the semi-truck. Still fucking cool to see, though. Hey, there's more Strowman after the commercial, Matt. Top of the second hour, and 2 security guys are behind him, and Strowman walks over to the announce table, and the funniest moment, Booker T shoves Cole towards Strowman as he's bailing. I thought that was hilarious. And they never
touch on that, which annoyed.
They don't.
Because he totally did it.
And because they showed a replay of it right afterwards.
Yep.
And then Strowman grabs Cole by the pants. Oh my, that was another great moment. Angle shows up with a microphone and said that was Stephanie McMahon on the phone, and you've been rehired. And Matt said, "Whoo!" So he's still in the title match, and still Strowman tossed Cole into the security guys on the stage, and so nice little safe bump for Cole. And I think both Matt and I said the same thing on Twitter as well, that Cole tossing should be an Olympic sport.
It's true.
That was so much fun with Strowman, though, wasn't it?
It was a great hour, and honestly, I wish they would have stretched it out through the whole show. But I get why they didn't. But it was still really fucking entertaining.
Commercial aired confirming Bischoff and Jericho coming to Raw 25, which means Jericho working New Japan and WWE in the same month, which is rare. Something AJ Styles did in 2016. Tom Phillips replaced Cole on commentary for the rest of the way. Poor Tom Phillips has to work with Booker T. Next up is Nia Jax. And they showed replays of her attacking Asuka. And so we get Asuka versus Nia Jax. And I thought it was a decent little match, Matt. They're not going to give us everything on Raw with this first matchup on the main roster, but I thought these two.
I thought it was great. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah. On the outside of the ring, Jack's walking up the steps, and pretty cool spot. Asuka kicks the back of her leg and traps Nia's leg, and then as she falls to the ground, her knee kind of bends back. Gets in the ring before the 10 count, but collapsed every time she tried to stand up, so the ref called for the bell, kind of protecting. Obviously, Asuka's not going to lose, and so they're protecting Jax there as well. They show doctors looking at Nia's, and Alexa Bliss comes out as well to check on her friend. And so ends that segment. They show Kurt Angle in his office picking up all the pieces of Braun Strowman destroying shit. Guy we follow and respect a lot, Scott Fishman, said it right on Twitter. Matt, he said, "Wow, putting Braun Strowman over is getting real expensive for Vince tonight, isn't it?"
Oh well, he can afford it.
He can afford it. Jason Jordan.
I don't really worry about Vince McMahon spending money.
No.
Not even a little bit. Spend away, Vince. Spend away.
I will. Damn it. But not on Pyro.
Yeah, clearly not. But without the Pyro, look at all the other shit he's able to ruin now.
Yeah. Jordan walks in. Jordan just loves to walk in at the wrong time. Wanted to thank his dad for believing in him, but I think Angle had other fish to fry that night, named Braun Strowman. And Jordan says, if Strowman got anywhere near you, I would have gotten him. Yeah, we all said, yeah, right. And then Angle goes, I didn't see you around anywhere. Good point there, Dad. Jordan suggests that Rollins could use some singles competition to get over the loss last week that Jordan basically caused, and suggested that Balor and Rollins go one-on-one, which I'm okay with. And Angle said, yes, that's good. Good. So that'll be our main event. Alexa Bliss is in the Rock room talking to Nia. Had an ice pack on her knee, and then Enzo shows up and goes, how you doing? And Bliss didn't think Enzo needed to be there. But Enzo said, I'm going to be here for Nia. And then Jack said, bros before hoes, and said, Bliss, hit the bricks, kid.
GTFO, Bliss. GTFO.
Revival took on a couple Javas. Hit a shatter machine 2 minutes in. And after the match, Charlie Caruso interviews them. And Dawson says that was a clinic in tag team wrestling. You don't see that often because guys are back playing video games or checking how many likes they got on Instagram. And Dawson said they're about punishing their opponents and winning matches. Caruso asked who they're excited to see next week at Raw 25. And Wilder Dash said guys that do beer baths and crotch chops, they're a mockery of the business. We're professional wrestlers. He said the PW word, Matt.
Yep.
I love it. So I have a feeling at Raw 25, I think the Revival's going to beat up some old guys, don't you think?
I think some old guys are going to beat up the Revival.
You think? I think it's the other way
do.
around.
Nope. I think they're going to get beat up.
They're gonna
You remember like the Ascension got beat up by a bunch of legends?
Yeah.
I think that's about to happen to the Revival next week.
The Ascension on the main roster were basically jobbers.
Well, I think Vince is probably tired of these guys getting injured. So I would not be the slightest bit surprised to see them get beat up by a bunch of legends next week.
Elias is in the ring and hopes Michael Cole's okay, his number one fan. Actually, Michael Cole's his number 2 fan. I am Elias's number 1 fan. And, hey, Matt, what's WWE stand for?
World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yes, it does. Elias says the other men in the Rumble should only be concerned with one superstar. That's a lot. And Elias is going to sing a song about John Cena. And he threw in how the Spurs suck, and that got some heat on him. And he introduced The Miz and The Miz Taraj. And The Miz comes out, talks about how after a 6-week absence, the fans greeted him with a welcome back chance. But it was only 6 weeks. The Miz said the universe was overjoyed to see him because something's missing from Monday Night Raw. Well, yeah, creative. Oops.
I think that's missing from SmackDown.
Yeah, Raw's been better lately.
Raw's been a lot better lately.
Because they stole SmackDown's writers.
Yeah, I think they did.
Miz said the spark that was missing was not John Cena and not Brock Lesnar. It was The Miz. And brags about how he's going to lay waste to Roman Reigns. Talks about how he's got his own unscripted series on the network with Maurice called Miz and Mrs. And how many times am I going to try to say that and fuck that up? Because that's an interesting title. And talks about how he's going to make the title prestigious again. And I think he's going to beat Reigns. I think they put it on Reigns for 2 reasons.
I hope not.
I think I'd like to see him in the Universal title picture, but I think
if Reigns drops the title on Monday, I'm going to be terrified about the Rumble that Sunday. I do not want Reigns to lose the title on Raw.
I think he's gonna.
I really, dude. It's not. If he drops the title, it is not a good sign for us going into the Rumble on Sunday. It's just not.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I'd like to see Reigns going to WrestleMania as the Intercontinental Champion and Braun Strowman going to WrestleMania as the Universal Champion.
Well, we all know that ain't happening.
No, I think they put it on. They took it off Miz because obviously he had to go film a movie, even though he has kept the title when he's filmed movies before. But I think they wanted to crown Reigns as a Grand Slam champion. So they just wanted to throw it on him real quick and then take it off. Just my thought. I think that's what's going to happen, but I'm not hoping I'm right. I'm just.
I'm telling you right now, if he drops the title on Monday, it's going to be really bad for the Rumble that Sunday.
Yeah.
He can drop the title after the Rumble.
Reigns took on the Miz Taraj, went on for about 8 minutes, and Reigns comes out on top there. I loved it when they were the announcers were talking about who all they're excited for Raw 25, and Booker T got scared when the Boogeyman was mentioned. Sasha Banks took on Sonya Deville, and wow, 3-minute match and a clean win for Sonya Deville. How about that, pinning the boss, Matt?
Well, you have to elevate the status of Sonya and Mandy a lot quicker than you probably were planning on, and it started this Monday, and that's exactly what they just did. So they don't have a choice in the matter.
Nope.
I guarantee you their plan was to elevate Sonya and Mandy slowly, with Paige being the forefront. But with Paige no longer being able to work, they need to elevate Deville and Mandy at a quicker rate than they were planning on, and they really have no other choice in the matter.
Now that I know now that we know what we know, I really wish Absolution didn't beat up Asuka, and Paige brings Asuka in to replace her. Imagine Asuka with those two, and Asuka running as a heel, and having Paige as a manager doing the talking. Man, I think that would have been a way to fix. Granted, Absolution's not broken still with Paige not able to compete because Mandy and Sonya are good in the ring.
Yeah, Mandy and DeVille both can go. I'm not worried. As long as creative doesn't give up on them, they have nothing to worry about. Like, they have absolutely nothing. They have nothing to worry about. As long as Paige stays on TV and creative doesn't give up on them, they have DeVille and Rose, for now, have absolutely nothing to worry about.
Seth Rollins in the locker room getting ready for his match with Balor. Jordan walks up, and Rollins tells Jordan, "Don't make matches for me. We're teammates, and you're not my spokesperson. I don't have a problem with what you did, just the way that you did it." Continuing the rift between those guys. I mean, because it's only a matter of time before Jordan goes full on heel. Next up is Woken Matt Hardy. Yes. Matt, what do you think of the new entrance music?
I don't know. I mean, it's better than coming out to the Hardys theme, but it's not really what I envisioned for him. But I mean, there's still time to change it.
What we envisioned is probably what starts off the theme, but then goes into
my issue with it is, I feel like we discussed this last week and people didn't hear it. I feel like this is a bad WWE knockoff of the mid to late 90s NWO theme. Like, the piano theme with, like, voice dub tracks into it. Like, and anybody that knows what the old NWO theme sounded like back in the day knows exactly what I'm talking about. And
full nice.
Yeah, and we are in control. New world order. And that's what it reminds me of. And to me, it doesn't fit the character of Broken Woken Matt Hardy, whatever you want to refer to him as. To me, it doesn't fit that character, and it just comes off kind of weird. But I want this character to succeed in this company so bad, because I know how good this damn character can be, and I just want them to let him do his thing, and he won't. Matt Hardy will not screw this character up. WWE can screw this character up. So, I mean, it's just going to come down to wait and see how they run him over the next several months to see how this is all going to go down.
Yeah. I like how they put all the deletes on the Tron, though.
I'm glad the Tron was updated this week. I did not like him. I did not like him coming out to the Hardy Boy Trons last week. I did not like that.
Yeah, we all knew that. We all knew that was getting fixed eventually, but I like what they did with the deletes though on the Tron. I thought that was pretty cool. Matt Hardy took on Heath Slater in about a 4-minute match that got all his woken brilliance in, biting the fingers and the turnbuckles and the delete headbutts and all that fun stuff. And so good stuff there, and they are so far so good with booking Woken Matt Hardy. You agree, Matt?
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
A little overboard on the laugh. Vince loves the laugh, but I don't think the laugh needs to be on the entrance music either. I don't mind the delete part being on the entrance music, but the laugh, it's like, yeah, we hear that we're hearing that laugh getting to death right now. So Gallows and Anderson make their way to the ring to join Finn Balor, and followed by Seth Rollins with Jason Jordan. Our main event of the evening. Hell of a match, because you get Balor and Rollins in one-on-one competition. You're definitely not going to get something that sucks. But hello. Little something came back at the end of the match, didn't it, Matt?
What?
Little curb stomp action, huh?
Oh, they're calling it the blackout. which is the name of it, which was the name of it in Ring of Honor when he was Tyler Black. So.
Yep. And I like the Blackout name.
Dude, I'm so tired of him doing the Okada the Okada imitation Rainmaker into a knee instead of a clothesline anyway. So
it's like an imitation of Okada and Omega.
Yeah,
like
Omega has done. It's like Omega has done what Rollins has done before Rollins did it, and Omega did it better. So I'm glad somebody convinced somebody within that company to let him use that as his finisher again.
Yeah, and Jesus Christ, did Balor sell it so brilliantly too. The imitation Rainmaker V-Trigger, just was not working. And the curb stomp worked. Great finisher. It's not going to kill people. So call it the Blackout. That won't get the kids to Google curb stomp, so good enough. So, and then, of course, the end of Raw was weird because they kept showing Balor, Gallows, and Anderson in the ring, and I'm like, they are not turning Gallows and Anderson on Balor. What are we doing? We're just sitting in the ring. Nobody's talking. What is fucking going on? There's the Raw graphic. Okay. That was weird, wasn't it?
It was really weird. I didn't understand the finish of the show at all. And I mean, otherwise, I thought that overall the show was really good. It's just the end of the show left me scratching my head. I'm like, this is really weird. I don't understand what I'm looking at right now. So
yeah,
all's well that ends well, though. Now they didn't do anything stupid with it, so that's really all I can ask for at that point.
My initial thought was maybe there was something planned with Strowman to finish the show, but they ran out of time. Maybe that was it.
Out of time!
So weird. Out of time. SmackDown this week, live from Laredo, Texas. Kicking it off with the United States Championship Tournament. News broke earlier in the day that the finals of the U.S. tournament were pulled from the Rumble, probably because there's just not going to be enough time with 2 Rumble matches, tag team title matches, 2 out of 3 falls tag team title matches, world title matches. It may not be enough time, so they pulled the finals of the tournament off of the pay-per-view, and lo and behold, the finals happened on SmackDown this week. So they really accelerated this tournament. But first, Xavier Woods against Jinder Mahal. And after New Day cuts a little promo, these guys get it on. I thought it was a pretty solid match, a long match with Xavier Woods. My hope of Woods being the dark horse in the tournament was dashed, though, with Jinder Mahal landing the Khallas after 18 minutes.
Told you it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I was hoping. For a miracle.
It's just for me. The problem with this whole tournament was we're running a tournament for the United States Championship. Who's in the tournament? Oh, but we're gonna give you Rude versus Corbin and Mahal versus, I don't even remember who Mahal fought in the first round.
Dillinger.
Yeah, Dillinger. Who else is in the tournament? We don't. Oh well, we'll tell you next week. Like, AKA, we know who we want our finals to be, but we don't know what the rest of this fucking tournament looks like right now. So we're going to get the 2 people that we know are going to be in the finals, in the matches, in week 1, and we're just going to put the rest of the tournament together next week. We're just going to throw, every guy left we've got back here that ain't doing nothing, into this tournament next week.
Yeah, we're gonna pair a broken tag team, and then we're gonna pair 2 guys in tag teams right now.
Yeah, it was just dumb. Like, honestly, they could have made the United States title tournament so cool. Like, they have enough people on SmackDown that they could have had a really good tournament. Like, if Nakamura, if their intention is for Nakamura to not win the Royal Rumble, there's no reason like Nakamura and Rusev and people like that shouldn't have been in this U.S. title tournament. And they could have actually made the tournament really good and really compelling, and instead they were just content with, no, we know it's gonna be Rude and Jinder in the finals, so fuck everything else. To which, at the same token, makes you wonder, why didn't they just let Roode win the fucking U.S. title at the pay-per-view to begin with?
Yeah,
because what was the point? I don't get it.
Yeah, my only thought is they were gonna have Ziggler return at the Rumble and attack Roode after he wins, but yeah, I don't know. I'm baffled.
I feel like we're still gonna end up with fucking Ziggler versus Roode at the Rumble. Like, I feel like that's still going. I feel like that's going to happen.
Is Ziggler going to come out to Cult of Personality next week?
God.
Remember how he was imitating entrances? he leaves. Yeah. The only difference is he didn't leave with the title. He left the title with him. AJ Styles next up, getting interviewed by the lovely Renee Young. And did AJ Styles accidentally just say Cammy? And then he just kind of went with it, and now it's kind of stuck. It felt like that's what happened.
Well, AJ Styles has become a very good promo in the WWE, and I feel like this was something that was designed to be said, but he made it. He made it off like he just came up with that.
He accidentally did it.
So,
of course, taking a page off of what people do with celebrity couples, combining their names, or Breezango, which I hated at first, but I've gotten over that hate. And hey, Cammy will work if it pisses off Sammy and Kevin. So, videos aired of the women entering the Royal Rumble match. Did some cell phone promos, and in case you didn't know their names, they showed a PowerPoint graphic that Drew Gulak did, showing their.
I hated that.
Yeah, that was.
And they did it with Orton too.
Yep.
You know,
they did it with Nakamura.
It's bad. Like, it literally looks like something that was put together for some, elementary school PowerPoint presentation. Like, I don't like it at all. I don't know what they're thinking. Not good. It's not good.
Yeah, because they did the exact same thing with Orton. Like, we don't know who he is. He's only won 13 or 14 world titles. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking with that, but it's not good at all. Like, if you're really worried about people wondering who these are, let's go back to the 80s and have them stand in front of a green screen and have their logo behind them with their name on it while they're talking. Because I'd rather have that than what they gave us on SmackDown on Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm baffled sometimes. Next up, the final semifinal match of the United States tournament. Bobby Roode, Mojo Rawley. I thought this was a pretty decent match. I thought I know you're not really a fan of Mojo's, but I thought Mojo did pretty decent against Roode in this match, Matt.
Mostly jobber.
Glorious DDT after 13 minutes for the victory. Roode with the win. After the match, the Singh brothers attack Roode. Mahal comes out and says he's going to put a glorious end to the charade of Bobby Roode next week. Roode got on the mic and said, "Let's not wait till next week. Let's do it tonight."
Bitch.
And Mahal said, "We'll do it on my time." And Mahal wanted 1 full week to think about how bad Mahal's going to embarrass him. But lo and behold, somebody was behind Jinder. It was Daniel Bryan. And he said, "We're going to have the title match tonight." And I heard, I don't know if you heard the same thing I did, but I heard they kind of worked this to give some of the SmackDown roster a rest.
Well, I know Kevin Owens has some kind of injury right now, so
they said that they've been working a lot lately.
Well, I heard the original plan was to do it at the finals at the Rumble. And then they were like, all right, well, no, we'll do the semis this week. We'll do the finals next week before the Rumble. And then now we're just going to do the whole thing tonight. I don't know. It was weird. Six
women tag match. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Naomi took on the Riot Squad, and as Matt said, Absolution wins on Raw, Riot Squad wins on SmackDown. And Logan and Morgan's promos on that little PowerPoint presentation weren't good either.
They're not good. Liv Morgan couldn't even find what she was supposed to be staring at for her promo.
Here, just point to something shiny. She'll look at that.
She's so bad, dude. Somebody presented me the idea that she was called up in a sink or swim situation.
Oh, so she failed.
They felt like she wasn't getting any better in NXT, and it was like, we're gonna burn her up and see what we have up here, and if nothing comes of it, Vince will just be the one to say to let her go. So I don't know how much truth there is to that, but I've definitely heard rumblings of that being a sink or swim situation for her on the main roster, which would not surprise me at all. So,
yeah, and you know, not a similar situation, but a like situation with Carmella and Alexa Bliss because they were kind of surprises to be drafted, and look what they did with their opportunities. So I don't think it was a sink or swim with those girls, but I think it was all right, here you go, show us what you can do. And obviously we know Bliss and Carmella have excelled since coming to the main roster, but yeah, I don't know about Liv Morgan. The Usos getting interviewed by Dasha Fuentes, talking about the Royal Rumble match. For those who didn't know, we didn't cover this in the headlines, but Jey Uso arrested for DWI after a house show in Texas.
Dumbass.
No word yet on if he'll be facing any punishment or that.
Yeah, his punishment is he's going to drop the tag titles to Gable and Benjamin at the Rumble.
And that's who attacked them backstage. And
congratulations to whoever's getting the title shot at the Rumble, because you're winning the titles, a.k.a. Benjamin and Gable. The titles are changing hands now. That's how WWE always handles things when a title holder gets in shit like this.
Yep. What'd you think of their little promo and interaction with Bryan last week? I thought it was pretty good. Gable and
I thought that was probably the best promo the two of those guys have cut since they've been together.
Yeah. I see a lot of people on Twitter with problems with those guys cutting promos, but I don't see it.
There's a lot worse cutting promos right now, folks. There's a lot worse.
Main event of SmackDown Live for the United States Championship, Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal. This went about 16 minutes, and of course the main part of it was Mojo had hurt Roode's ribs in the match, and so that was a focal point for Jinder. I thought Roode and Jinder gave us a great title match here, Matt. I really enjoyed the main event of SmackDown here.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a problem with it. I just wish I would have known going in that the entire night was going to be about a tournament. You know?
Yeah.
I honestly kind of had an issue with that. Like, I don't know if I would have watched live had I known what the show was going to be. But
feels like we're throwing shit together all willy nilly, right? You know. Shane and Daniel applaud Roode on the big win. Not much in terms of tension between those guys this week. But just wait. I'm sure that's coming. So that's how we close it as we get ready for Raw 25 on Monday. I can't wait, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll break it down for you on Wednesday. We'll break it down for you on Wednesday for Thursday's show. And also give you our TakeOver and Rumble previews as well. I might try to reach out to one Trevor Oz to see if he'll join us for those as well, or possibly join us for the Rumble post show. So hopefully we can get Trevor Oz on the show. But that's going to do it for this week. Thanks to SpiderDuck.net for being our host and enabling us to be on iTunes. Any of your favorite podcasting apps. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube if that's your flavor of choice, and the links to all that are on our pinned post on Facebook, facebook.com/lost in the midcard. Also on our pinned tweet at LITMC podcast on the Twitter. Matt's on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. I am on the Twitter at JBHuskers. And as we ride off into the sunset, Matt, and get ready to take a nostalgic trip down memory lane, what are your final thoughts?
Dude, I just hope it's entertaining. Like that's all I really want. I just want a really entertaining show going into the Rumble. You know, you don't need to sell the Royal Rumble. Everybody knows what the Rumble is all about. So I'm getting 2 Royal Rumbles. I'm kind of already sold. You know, you don't need to sell me on the Rumble. Just give me a damn entertaining Raw 25. I just, you know, I think that's all anybody can really ask for right now. We just want an entertaining show. So we'll see what happens.
Well, the Royal Rumble is my number 1 pay-per-view of the year on the calendar. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year. So, yeah, you don't need to sell me either. So, but it'll be pretty cool to see a lot of superstars we've not seen in ages, like some of the women. And hopefully some of them are going to announce that they're going to be in the Rumble. That'll be cool. It'll be cool to see JR and King back together again. It's going to be fun, and we're going to break it all down for you on Thursday's show next week. So until then, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the flip side as we get ready for Rumble and Takeover Philly.